a feint from Jake. Caught him. Oh my God!
Let's go!
Jake Paul, known for his outrageous style and controversial pranks, has had a number of occasions that did not go as planned. From failed stunts to live roasts, the online phenomenon turned boxer has been publicly humiliated on several occasions. Whether it's being disregarded by boxing superstars or being caught off guard in awkward situations, Jake has learned that being in the spotlight has its own set of difficulties. When Jake Paul stole Floyd Mayweather's hat, Jake Paul stole Floyd Mayweather's hat during a promotional event for Logan Paul's fight against him with the intention of causing a scene. What followed was pure chaos. You wouldn't believe how quickly things escalated. Mayweather and his entourage immediately chased Jake down, leaving him scrambling for safety. The whole thing turned into a viral moment, but Jake's stunt left him embarrassed and on the defensive. This wasn't just any face-off. It was a moment that highlighted Jake's knack for pushing boundaries and stirring up drama. When Jake Paul and Ben Askren clashed pre-fight, during an intense news conference prior to their fight, Jake Paul and Ben Askren provided fans with an unforgettable moment. Things heated up when Paul, in traditional fashion, summoned UFC fighter Jorge Masvidal to ridicule Askren for his notorious 5-second knockout. But Askren wasn't having it. He brushed off Paul's insults with a facepalm, triggering Jake to throw a punch. The confrontation sparked chaos, giving everyone a glimpse of the tension and drama to come. The rivalry was no longer just in the ring, it was personal when Jake Paul called out Conor McGregor's camp.
A while ago, and I've seen you since this, but I just forgot to mention it. I was down in Conor's gym in SBG, and I asked Coach Kavanagh, what would you do if Jake came in and he put down the fees and he said, I want to train here?
Jake Paul faced some heat from Conor McGregor's coach, John Kavanagh, after his repeated call-outs of the Irish fighter. Kavanagh took a jab at Paul during an interview, saying he'd allow him to train at his gym on one condition: Paul would have to pay his fees up front. But Paul, never one to back down, hit back hard. He rejected the offer and called McGregor and his team losers, even telling Kavanagh and McGregor to suck his nuts. The tension between Paul and McGregor's camp is clearly at an all-time high. When Jake Paul was roasted by Joe Rogan after sparring with Mike Tyson.
Jake Paul was humorously criticized by Joe Rogan after he struggled during a sparring session with Mike Tyson.
Jake Paul just couldn't escape the heat after his sparring session with Mike Tyson. Even after all the hype, Paul was knocked out in under a minute, leaving Joe Rogan with plenty of material to roast him. Rogan, who had warned Paul beforehand, didn't hold back and mocked him for not seeing it coming. It seems like canceling the real fight might have been Paul's smartest move. Otherwise, he would have faced even more backlash. But instead of staying in the spotlight, Paul ended up facing even more ridicule when Jake Paul knocked out Nate Robinson.
Oh, there's a feint from Jake. Caught him. Oh my God! Lord have mercy! Oh, Jesus!
Jake Paul's knockout of Nate Robinson went viral and astonished audiences all over the world. Snoop Dogg's live reaction made the battle even more memorable. As Robinson hit the canvas, Snoop's mix of humor and disbelief captured the mood perfectly, with his famous line, "Lord have mercy," resonating across social media. Throughout the early rounds, Snoop mocked Jake's awkward fighting style, which only heightened the drama. His playful commentary, combined with Robinson's sudden knockout, turned the match into an iconic moment that continues to be remembered for its unexpected outcome. When Logan Paul taunted Tommy Fury, and KSI mocked Jake Paul after the fight.
Tommy Fury has just defeated Jake Paul via unanimous decision. KSI says, Jake Paul is trying to copy my bounce. LMAO. Funny thing is,
Tommy Fury has just clinched a unanimous decision victory over Jake Paul, and the aftermath is heating up. KSI wasted no time poking fun at Jake, saying, Jake Paul trying to copy my moves, LMAO. He really doesn't know what he's doing. He confidently claimed he could easily defeat both Paul and Fury in the ring. Meanwhile, Deji acknowledged the effort from both fighters, calling them warriors. In the midst of it all, Logan Paul took a shot at Tommy Fury during the fight, taunting him and suggesting Jake Paul would be heading home with his tail between his legs when Jake Paul faced defeat.
I think on Jake in that moment is like inevitable. Like,
Yeah, it's warranted.
Like obviously he's gonna fucking do
No,
that.
100%.
Like he has.
I would do the same.
He has to do that.
Yeah, I would do the same.
In the heat of the moment, Jake Paul's reaction was almost inevitable. The nature of the game requires players to face their defeats head-on, and while Jake's retreat in the confrontation with KSI's crew was warranted, it highlighted the harsh reality of competitive rivalries. If Jake Paul were to lose, it would be a part of the game, and he would have to handle it accordingly. Unlike KSI, who has yet to face such humbling moments, Jake's future will be determined by how he navigates these challenges. The outcome of his journey remains uncertain, as it is ultimately up to fate to decide. When Canelo Alvarez denied Jake Paul's boxing status,
and if you win, are you going to go out and celebrate?
I'm gonna win.
Are you going to celebrate with the fans after?
Yeah, of course.
No, Jake Paul's made a lot of noise, especially last week.
during a live interview, Canelo Alvarez was asked about the buzz surrounding Jake Paul in the boxing world. Canelo's response was pointedly dismissive, questioning why he was even being asked about Paul. He acknowledged Jake's presence in the sport, but made it clear that Paul isn't on his level right now. Canelo hinted that things might change in a few years, but for the moment, Jake Paul's main contribution seems to be attracting more fans to boxing. This dismissive attitude underscored the significant gap between their boxing careers and served to humiliate Jake Paul by highlighting his current lack of relevance in comparison to established fighters like Canelo, when Gigi Hadid shut down Jake Paul.
Jake Paul gets body slammed by Gigi Hadid. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking.
Jake Paul found himself in an unexpected shutdown when Gigi Hadid playfully body slammed him, sparking a wave of online chatter. The incident comes at a time when Jake's reputation is already under scrutiny. Known for his controversial and often irredeemable antics on YouTube, Jake has been criticized for trying to scam kids and promoting harmful advice, like skipping school. Many are calling him out for his greed and questionable behavior. This playful body slam only adds to the ongoing debate about his tarnished public image. When Dana White responded to Jake Paul's accusations and challenges,
UFC President Dana White is tired of Jake Paul calling him a cocaine addict and has issued a challenge for the YouTube boxer.
UFC President Dana White is over Jake Paul's constant digs, including calling him a cocaine addict. Paul, fresh off his knockout victory over former UFC champ Tyron Woodley, has been on a winning streak and challenging UFC fighters left and right. He's also targeted White, accusing him of underpaying fighters and drug use. In a recent interview with Teddy Atlas, White didn't hold back, issuing a challenge to Jake Paul and alleging that the YouTube boxer might be using performance-enhancing drugs. The rivalry is intensifying. When Jake Paul's career was in jeopardy after fighting Mike Tyson,
it's officially over. Jake Paul just hit rock bottom, and it's a fall nobody saw coming this soon. Yeah, Jake just kissed the canvas in a recent sparring session with Mike Tyson.
Jake Paul has just struck rock bottom, and no one expected it happening so soon. The YouTuber turned boxer sparred with Mike Tyson, and the exchange was nothing short of savage. On November 15, Jake boasted about his knockout plans for Tyson, but his performance exposed him in the worst conceivable way. Now he's in tears, wondering if his fighting career is over. Will Jake Paul be able to recover, or will he have to retire? When Jake Paul issued a public apology after the looting scandal.
Oh my God, it's getting crazy.
Jake Paul says he and his team did not participate in looting.
Jake Paul received substantial criticism after being caught on tape during looting instances, prompting him to deliver a public apology. This scandal, which received extensive media coverage, had a significant influence on his public image. The apology was issued live, and Jake was red-faced as he battled to handle the criticism and harm to his reputation. The situation not only tarnished his image, but also sparked a broader discussion about accountability and public behavior. When Eddie Hearn delivered a brutal critique of Jake Paul,
I'm being serious. I think there's absolutely no way he can beat a world champion and become world champion. But
Eddie Hearn, a well-known boxing promoter, has never been shy in expressing his opinions, particularly about Jake Paul. Hearn delivered a severe indictment in 4 minutes, which many fear will seriously harm Paul's position in the boxing world. He questioned Jake's abilities, dismissing his opponents and criticizing the YouTuber-turned-boxer for avoiding genuine combat. Hearn's harsh evaluation was more than just a personal punch. It was a reminder of the huge divide between true boxing pros and media personalities like Jake Paul attempting to break into the sport. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell icon so you always stay updated. See you in the next one.